Hey friends, so I am back with another read. This was my first read out, yeah, for February, for like the first, I think it took me 10 days to get through this. I don't know what's going on in February, but I am struggling reading. Like, I am having to do so many things, and like life is lifing, so I just have been behind. It took me a couple of days to even start reading this from where I was supposed to read it. And then it would be like, I'd read a little bit and then something would come up and I'd have to like miss a day and then catch back up. And then I'm like, okay, I'm caught up. And then I don't know, but I did finish like one day late. I was supposed to finish on the 9th and I finished on the 10th, but I was okay with that because I do have, like I had 3 extra days for the month just in case. And so that worked out. But I got through it. This is my second book by the author. I think I did enjoy this one a little bit more than the first one that I read, if you're following along. But it still wasn't like my cup of tea. It does feel a lot like the author like kind of has an agenda, and she does like, it's ancient Egypt right here, but she does talk a lot about like Greek or Roman type vibes, and she like compares a lot of this stuff to like other cultures, which I know that there is a time and a place, but it just feels so much like dismissive in my mind. Maybe I'm wrong, but it feels dismissive of the like ancient Egyptian culture. And I know even at one point, I do believe it was this book, but she was like saying something along the lines of like, what did she say? Something like the ancient, like the Egyptians were trying to keep their stuff like private, so you can't really blame the like Greeks or Romans for like putting their own spin on stuff, which it's like to an extent I get it, but at the end of the day, like if someone's trying to like gatekeep or whatever, then maybe it's not meant for you. Maybe that was the whole reason they're trying to like gatekeep their sacred practices, and people don't have to like give those out. Like, you can learn what you can learn. I love learning like about other people's practices, but everything is not for me as an African American woman. Like, all the practices are not for me. Like, I don't feel comfortable practicing some things that I know are from like cultures, especially cultures that were like colonized, and so then of course like their information is just out there or whatever type thing. And then even sometimes, like, because within my own community, like certain people will say, well, yeah, it's okay, it's open to everyone, when it's just really not open to everyone. And when I'm reading these books and stuff on certain, like, I'll see that they mention like certain gods and goddesses and things like that. And it's like, is that open or what? Like, I don't know, because you're just putting it in there like as if it's okay, when it's, I know for my like culture and practices, like it's not okay for everybody to do it. So I just always wonder about that stuff, but I'm not so much into other people's things. Like if I see something on TikTok or like come across something and I'm like, oh, that's interesting, that's really cool, like their culture does that and that is so fantastic, but it's not for me. At the end of the day, like it's not my culture. um I can appreciate what they do and everything, but I'm not going to be into it like it's my culture, because it's not. Like, I don't know, maybe if I had a friend in it or something like that, then I might be like that much more interested to like immerse myself within that. But I don't know. I hope you guys get what I'm saying. But anyways, I'm rambling. Um, Back to this book. This book has like a ton of information. So to speak, kind of like rambling and things on with that. But like I said, a lot of it is like her opinion. Like she'll take like the littlest thing and like kind of run with it. In my opinion, that's how I felt reading the book. And then I know a little bit about Hathor, but not a super whole bunch where I'm like, is this true? Is this not? Like I do with a set when I'm reading that. I'm like, I've never heard that. This is different, blah, blah, blah. Like that type of feeling, which I know it's not, some stuff is written down and we're translating things and stuff like that and going over like the Book of the Dead and they're getting this information, but at the end of the day, it's not written down like that, like as if it's modern times and we know 100% like this is what this means, even though it's translated. Like sometimes when we're translating things, like there are no words for certain things, and the knowledge and the closeness that they had to the earth and things like that, like the earth, the planets, the universe, compared to like how we are as people right now because of all this technology, we're so disconnected, is like, how did they really mean that, you know? And like, how do we interpret that? And the only way I feel like to figure that out is to make your own personal relationship with these deities and their energy and everything like that. So I don't know. Um, I took the book for what it was worth. It was an okay read. Like, it's a pretty simple book. It's not hard to like get through or anything. I just was lifing, and I don't know, like I'm like a stay-at-home homeschool mom, but like time is crazy. Like by the time I wake up, from the time I wake up till I go to sleep, and some days I am literally like up to see my husband off to work at like super early in the morning, like before the sun is up or whatever. And then I don't go to sleep until like late because sometimes I'm like, okay, this is my time to read. Like everybody's settled down, everybody's good. Let me read. But y'all, like it be busy. But for this book, I don't like, I would say it's more of like a beginner book, but then I wouldn't even want to recommend it to a beginner at the same time because it's just like I feel like you have to have a little background information because then you'll see like, oh, this may not be right, or like I need to question this, or I need to find more. I will say that her books make you think and make you want to like research. I don't know if that's how she intended for them, but that's how I feel like when I'm reading it. I'm getting more questions than answers, and I just feel like so skeptical. I don't know why, but that's how it just comes across to me because it does definitely feel like there's an agenda. And then like even like with the name, because her Egyptian name, as I don't know the pronunciation, but it's like Hathor or something like that. And then like Hathor, I don't know if that's her Egyptian name. I think kind of, maybe she had more than one name, but then it like crosses over to like the Greek and the Roman thing, and she was like kind of mentioning that where, oh, they didn't even have to change her name, but I think she was more of like Het because she's for the most part paired off with Haru, and Het is like House of Haru, and that just makes sense, you know? So I don't, it's just like little things within it that kind of irritate me. And then I'm just like, okay, well, if you're like pushing this and just like how creditable, I think that's the word, is everything else. Like if there's just little thing, like even in my personal life, like if I know you're lying about like the little things, then I'm just like, why wouldn't I think you're lying to me about the big things? Like, hello. So I don't know, if you like reading for the sake of reading, if you just want to get some information, if you want to spark your brain to do your own research, this is definitely the book for you. But I don't think it's the ends all to be all. I do see good reviews on it. Other people liked it. I don't know, maybe they're coming more from the Greek Roman side of things, and so then maybe it feels a little bit better. But for me, it just doesn't. And she has a ton of books, and that's really, really cool for different like gods and goddesses. But this is it. I did the two. And if I would have just read the one first, I probably would have just left it there. But we got number two, and so we get books, we read them because we're not wasting money. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Those are my thoughts, my opinions. If you've read it and you have different thoughts, you have more knowledge or something about it, please drop it in the thing. I think sometimes like you look at stuff from a certain perspective and that's all you can see. And so I do like to hear other people's thoughts and opinions on things because then sometimes that helps me understand stuff better, or it gives me something else to think about or a different perspective to look at. And so I really do enjoy that. But until the next read, have a good one.